हेलो एंड वेलकम। मैं हूं वसीम अकरम। हमने सोचा कि क्यों ना PSL हो रही है, बहुत से फॉरेन प्लेयर्स आर हियर इन दिस कंट्री, we should talk to them about Pakistan, about PSL, about our culture, and for me most importantly about our food as well. So today's guest, obviously one of the top players in world cricket, in franchisee cricket, the finisher we call him. Please welcome David Wiese. Welcome David.
Thank you.
Good to have you on show.
Thanks. Good to be here.
So this is your fourth year in PSL or fifth?
Fifth year actually. My first year was a bit of a half year. Came
Okay.
in halfway through as a replacement in 2019, and yeah, never looked back since.
You have a lot of fan following here in Pakistan, the way you perform from Lahore Qalandars. Tell us about your cricket journey, when you started and how do you played for two countries, South Africa and Namibia. How that happened?
Yeah, so the fans have been amazing in Pakistan. I mean, they're so passionate about cricket, and we're so fortunate to be able to play in front of them and entertain them. In terms of my journey, it's been a bit of a long one. I started in 2005 already. But was also studying at the same time, so was doing like a little semi-professional type of thing. But in South Africa, that was still second tier, was still classified as first-class cricket. So I did that while studied, and then just went on to from there. Went through the ranks, and then eventually played for South Africa. And then obviously signed a coal pack after that to make myself ineligible to play for South Africa, and then a lot of politics and everything happened in between, and Brexit fell away, and then I was eligible to play again, and then I decided to play for Namibia, which is my father's country of birth. So yeah, I think I've had a more interesting career than most people would have.
So when you started playing amateur cricket when you were a young kid, so obviously your goal was to play for your country, for South Africa?
Yeah, I think growing up in South Africa especially, everybody's just playing sport, whether it's cricket, rugby, football, tennis, you're just outside playing sport the whole time, and once you get an interest in that sport, you always want to represent your country, and for me it was from the time that I started playing cricket, watching guys like Hansie Cronje, Jonty Rhodes in the World Cups, and watching them on the international stage. It's always where you want to be and where you aspire to be. But as I got older, even though I enjoyed the sport, I didn't think that it would be able to be a profession for me, to be honest.
Wow.
And that's why I went to university to go study.
Wow, so what did you study?
I studied internal auditing. So
internal auditing?
Yeah, so I studied
Explain that to me,
and graduated. Basically, it's the people in the companies that nobody likes, because they come in there and make sure that everything's being done by the book, and making sure there's no dodgy dealings going in the background. It's a lot of paperwork and documents, and something that I don't think I'll be able to do now, but back then it was quite interesting for me.
So tell me about your family. How many kids do you have? Where you guys live now? Because you travel all over the world.
So I've got an older brother, so it's just me and my older brother.
Yeah.
My dad worked on the coal mines for Anglo, so we moved around quite a bit when we were younger. Moved from city to city, from mine to mine as my dad moved around. And then eventually, when I got to high school, then we settled in a mining town called Witbank.
Okay.
And that's where I probably stayed the longest until I went to university, and then I went to University of Pretoria, and then just stayed there ever since.
It's one of the famous universities, am I right? Pretoria, University of Pretoria?
Yes, it's a very good university. It's probably the strongest sporting university in South Africa, but it's got over 70,000 students there. It's a very popular university.
You've been playing cricket since 2005, professionally as well, and then of course you played for two countries. Any memory comes straight away into your mind, good cricketing memory?
Yeah, there's so many. I think that the two pinnacles for me was obviously representing your countries, and the special one for me was making my ODI debut for South Africa.
Yeah.
That was at SuperSport Park against New Zealand. So I played all my life at SuperSport Park in Pretoria. So for me to be there, make my debut in front of my family and everything that was there.
It's a flat deck though.
It is flat, and it was a flat game that also. So that's a special memory, and then also the other one that stands out for me is also playing in the World Cup for Namibia, and being able to beat Ireland and
I remember that.
Go through to the next Super 12 phase. I think that was more not a personal thing for me, but just to see what it meant to the players, and what it meant to the country like Namibia. They're a small country, but there's a big following in sports, and to be able to give them that happiness and that opportunity to support the team further in the World Cup was special.
So everybody knows you as the finisher in T20 format for Lahore Qalandars, in every other league as well. What are your hobbies in general, apart from cricket?
Yeah, I love my golf.
Okay.
The last couple years, because we've been so busy on tour and everything, and I've got a young family at home now, don't get out on the course as often as I would like. Obviously, being away from home.
So when you go back, your missus wants you to be with them.
Yeah. Basically, it's a case of you're away from home, and then when you're home, you shouldn't be away for 5 or 6 hours on a golf course. So when I'm on tour, I get to play a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
But when I'm at home, I just like to spend time with the family. So I've got a young family. I've got 2 young daughters.
How old?
And 3 and 1 years old.
Congratulations,
so thank
buddy.
you very much. Thanks. Yes, and they're really blessings to have in the family, and I just love spending time with them and just doing dad things, taking them to ballet classes and
wow.
and just dropping them off at school, picking them up, that type of thing, just being a bit more present in their life. So at this stage it sounds bad, but my hobby is actually being a dad.
That's a good hobby. I like being a dad too at times. So tell me, apart from you're a good golfer, so now the big question, when you came first 5 years ago to Pakistan, what were your image at the time of the country?
Look, I think at that stage when we started playing, there was still a lot of unknowns about
Sure.
About Pakistan. We all knew what had happened in the past, and we knew that people were working hard to bring cricket back to Pakistan. The fans deserved it. There's such a big following for cricket here, and the fans deserve to have cricket back here. But I just remember, the first time we got here, it was slightly intimidating, just because it's just the security and everything so in your face. It's something that we're not used to. But as soon as you just start to realize that it's not really because of a threat, it's just a precaution.
Exactly.
Then it puts your mind at ease. I always say, everyone who says to me, like, what's it like? It's their first time coming here. I'll say it to them straight, look, for the first 5 minutes it's going to be intimidating because you're not used to the security detail. But it's a beautiful country. It's the most kindest people out there, and it's really got you got nothing to be concerned with.
And I think I must tell this to people as well when they talk about security, like he explained it beautifully, that it's a precaution. You don't want to take a risk.
Yeah.
In general, anywhere in the world would be the similar sort of security what we've been through about 15 years ago. So now the big question: where do you rate PSL in world of league, franchisee cricket?
Yeah, so I've been fortunate enough to play in most of the leagues out there, and I've always maintained that PSL is one of the strongest leagues that you're going to play in just purely because of the local talent that is in Pakistan.
Yeah.
Every single season I pitch up here, it just seems to be new, younger guys coming in that's bowling quicker and that's hitting it further. And even Lahore Qalandars, they do a lot with their talent development programs, and we have the net bowlers coming in, and every single year there's a new net bowler that's bowling quicker and quicker, and you just think to yourself, like, where do they find all these diamonds? It's really it's unbelievable to see all the talent coming through. And I think that's every single team that you're playing against, you're going to have 3 or 4 guys that are bowling fast at you. You're going to have one mystery spinner that's coming in, and batting wise you're going to have some young kid who's just making it on the scene that's going to come and bang it. So you've always got to be on your game the whole time. So it really is one of the strongest leagues out there.
So according to David, it really is one of the strongest leagues in world cricket. We'll carry on our chat. We'll take a short break. See you on the other side. जी वेलकम बैक। एक दो आपको फिर खुशामदेद। मेरे साथ डेविड वीसे हैं और उनसे बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग चैट हो रही है। गेटिंग टू नो हिम एज अ पर्सन। वी नो ही इज़ अ मैच विनर, ही इज़ अ फिनिशर, he gets lots of wicket variation, but a very important part of any playing 11. So tell me, playing for Lahore Qalandars, it feels like every franchisee feels like a family, and Lahore as well. They do a lot for cricket and for their talent hunt programs before even PSL.
Yeah, they do. They set up the academy, which is world class. They go and do the talent development program, which gives young kids opportunities who might not have that opportunity to become professional cricketers. And they've got like you say, that the family feel to them. From the moment that I came here, maybe I was a bit fortunate that I've done well for them, and they've really embraced me as one of their own. I feel like but they're just lovely people. they're caring people. They care about you more as a human and not just as a cricketer.
Okay.
Which you know, in this franchise world, it could be a rare thing, because you know, at the end of the day, most teams and team owners, you know, they are to win. They are to, and it's also business for them.
Sure.
But you can see that you know, the Kalandars, they love cricket. They love the sport, and they do whatever they can for the sport, which is really amazing to see.
So what's the best memory has been so far in PSL for you, David?
100% for me last year, just lifting the trophy. You know, from where we came to where we ended up last year, I mean, we went through hard times. I mean, everybody
Sure.
knows that at the start, you know, the Kalandars weren't seen as much competition in the tournament. There were a couple of years where we finished bottom of the log, and you know, badly bottom of the log, not just bottom. We
Sure.
were stone last. But you know, they had faith in us, and you know, we've kept the same core of the team, and we've built that up. And you know, to be able to go through and win it last year, you know, it just meant so much to the team, to the players, to the owners, just to everybody, you know, just for the faith that they've shown in us over the last couple of years. And I know they, you know, because the fans are so passionate over here, they got a lot of, you know, they got a lot of stick, they got a lot of abuse. You know, when you're not winning,
I'm
everybody
all for
has their
stick,
opinion.
David.
And,
I'm
yeah.
all for stick. But abuse is just not on.
No,
It's only a sport end of the day.
100%. I mean, you know, I've always said that cricket is what you do. It's not who you are. So,
Exactly.
you know, why attack you personally just for something that on the day might not have worked out for you? And I know it's been tough times sometimes for the Kalandars, because the fans are so passionate and they want to see them do well, that, you know, as soon as you don't do well, it's, oh, get rid of this guy and he's not
Yeah.
good enough, and
Yeah.
fire him and that. And so, you know, to be able to come in and win it last year, and just to prove everybody wrong, you know, it was really special.
Secondly, this is your 5th PSL, 4.5 to be exact. Your personal performance, best performance, you think is the number one performance I did in PSL?
I think the most important performance for me would be the first game that I played for Kalandars in Dubai.
Yeah.
I was actually in Sharjah against Multan, where, you know, hitting a six of the last ball. That kind of, you know, announced me.
I remember
on the
that game.
PSL.
I think I was in Multan team then.
Were you?
I remember
Sorry about
that.
that. Sorry about that.
Not a
Yeah.
problem.
It was, you know, it was a defining moment for me, because it was kind of, I'd been in the wilderness before then. I hadn't played a lot of tournaments since I stopped playing international cricket, and to get that opportunity and to make such a statement, it kind of just kick-started my career again. So,
Brilliant.
you know, that was an important moment for me. And then the other one was last year, the playoff game against Islamabad.
Yes.
You know, that was special for me, because I really felt like that, you know, I contributed in that winning cause, you know, scoring runs at the end there and then bowling the last over, and you know, letting the team have that responsibility to giving me that last over to win the game for them. You know, that was a special moment, and you know, and a special night.
So what do you think of the stadiums or the facilities and the grounds, obviously, in so far in Pakistan, whenever you visited?
So as a bowler, you know, you're always under pressure when you're playing over here.
Yeah.
Never mind the fact that the wickets are good, the fields are, you know, the outfields are lightning, and you know, the fields are slightly smaller.
Yeah, for some odd reason they are.
Yeah, they're a little bit smaller.
In my opinion, I think it should be about 70 meters, the boundary. In general, okay, 65. This 65 meters here in Karachi.
To be honest with you, it wasn't like nowadays. It's funny, because we'll have one short side and one long side,
Yeah,
and
that's
the long
bizarre.
side will be 75 meters. But you're like, that's not really long, because guys are hitting the ball 85, 90 meters clear,
easy.
you know, easy. So, you know, you said 70 meters, that's still not big enough when I'm bowling, to be honest. Like, you still get nervous when you see that.
Before I take
but,
one more break, David, a question. Have you got the hang of Pakistani food yet?
I wouldn't say I've got the hang of it.
Okay.
I appreciate it. I do eat it once in a while, but I'm the type of guy, I can't handle spice. It just
Fair call.
It's lovely. I'll have it once or twice while I'm over here.
Okay.
It's nice. You know, it's a nice culture thing that you guys have. Everybody gets in the one room and, you know, have dinner together, and you know, that's a really nice experience to have. But unfortunately, it's the food is just something that I haven't grown up with.
And
so
you
my
don't want
body
to risk
doesn't.
it as well because of your gut.
Yeah, it's not the place where you want to be stuck for a couple of days with an upset stomach. So it's not something that I've ventured into too much, to be honest.
I think for starters, we have to make sure that David gets used to Pakistani food. Meanwhile, we take a short break. See you on the other side. वेलकम बैक एक दफ़ा फिर मेरे साथ डेविड वीसे बैठे हैं जो दुनिया के बेहतरीन प्लेयरों में से माने जाते हैं T20 फॉर्मेट में और फिनिशर के दौर पे जाने जाते हैं और लाहौर के अंदर उनकी टीम है। इनसे गुफ्तगू और इंटरव्यू जारी रखते हैं। सो डेविड, व्हेन यू थिंक ऑफ PSL, व्हाट कम्स टू योर माइंड एज अ लीग ऑब्वियसली, यू नो?
The first thing is just the fans. You know that when we get here, it's going to be packed houses. I mean, I've never experienced any other place where people have actually chanted my name and cheered me as much as what the Pakistani public has done. I'll always remember playing for South Africa and walking out in the World Cup. I was in India that year, and
Sure.
when AB de Villiers came out to bat, everybody chanting AB, AB, and thinking like this is amazing, and like to have that experience over here in Pakistan, it's just the fans over here is just like nowhere else in the world. They're just so fanatical and so passionate about their
Yeah,
sport.
passionate
it's
is the right
amazing,
word.
Yeah.
They love their cricket,
Yeah.
and if they like you, like their team, like Lahore, they will support you all the way. That's the beauty
100%.
of Pakistani fans.
Yeah.
So your best innings in PSL so far, what do you think? The crucial one, the best one?
Most crucial one for me must be against Islamabad
Last
again
year.
last year in the playoff game. Being able to give us momentum in that last over, scoring 27 odd in that last over
Wow.
to give us momentum into the bowling, and then to be able to close out the game, to win it, to make it into the finals. That was a special game for me. There's a couple other ones that stand out also. The first one against Multan, like we spoke about,
Sure.
just giving, being able to announce myself in PSL like that, your first game, to be able to do well and win the game, that was also a special innings for me.
So all these youngsters in Pakistan or worldwide, David, you have fans all over the world. Can you explain it to them what is a finisher means in T20 format? And how does your mind work when you say need 28 runs of 2 overs or 3 overs? So what goes through your mind?
Basically, being a finisher is it's about being that guy who's there not out at the end of the game.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if you're on 50 not out or 10 not out, just to be the guy who's there at the end, shaking hands and saying, well played, getting your team over the line. There's certain ways that I've learned over the past now that you do that. You've got to understand the situation of the game.
Sure.
You've got to almost look ahead in the game also and see who's still coming to bowl, who hasn't bowled yet.
Okay.
Some bowlers you feel like you can get more against him than what you can against this guy, so then you've got to manage him more than that guy. The main thing that I've also learnt over the past is that you've always got a little bit more time than what you actually think you do.
Okay.
You look up and you see 30 of 12 balls, you're
Yeah.
like, okay, I've got to get going here, I need to start hitting sixes of every single ball, but you actually don't. You hit 2 sixes over there, and you're back to almost being run a ball. You hit 3 sixes and then it's game over. So
Yeah.
it's one thing that I've learned is that not to panic, because you're under pressure, but the bowler's even more under pressure because he knows that you're trying to take him down and he knows that you're trying to hit him for a 6. So whoever holds his nerve,
Yeah.
that's going to be the winner in the end. And also I've learned at the end of the day, it's you're competing against somebody and he might just be better than you on the day, and then
Okay.
it doesn't work out for you. But if you can just have that freedom in your mind, that knowing that the other thing is confidence. You need to know that if he misses, you're able to hit sixes, and that's just the main thing.
And
is that
how
just,
important is to be calm under that stage? Because what I see with youngsters, when, like you said, when they see 28 of 2 overs, they try to hit every ball out of
Yeah.
the park instead of balance. How important is balance as well, David?
Yeah, it's very important, and I think the calmness comes in understanding your game. For me, it's always been a case of knowing that you learn in practice.
Yeah.
You go and implement it in the game. So me knowing that if a guy bowls a ball in a certain area, I've got that confidence of knowing that I'm going to hit that for a 6. So if he bowls 2 balls in that area, those are going for 12 runs.
Okay.
Then it's just about managing the other 4 balls, not getting out on those balls, but then still scoring and maximizing as much as you can off those specific balls. Because you've seen so many times guys hitting at the end where they'll hit a slot ball for 6,
Yeah.
and then the next ball isn't there to hit, but they still go after it and they end up getting out, and that deceives the purpose
Pressure
of
back on the batting side.
exactly. So the main thing about being a finisher is also not getting out on the balls that aren't there to hit. It's just finding a way to score runs off those good balls still.
Very important advice from one of the modern greats in T20 format. So now let me put you under a scanner now. The best team in PSL.
I'm going to probably sound a little biased when I say this, but I'm always going to say the Kalanders is the best team in the PSL. You know, it's a fantastic franchise. We've got fantastic players, you know, really talented players, and you know, just my experience. It's my second team in PSL that I've played for. Probably not many people know that I played for a different team before. I played for the whole
Which one?
I played for Karachi. Actually.
Karachi? Which year was that?
2018. I was in Karachi. I only played one game though. I didn't get much game time. So for me personally, my PSL career only started after that because there wasn't much opportunity that I received there.
You're a big star in Pakistan now, David. And tell me, okay, a bit early days, who do you think is the favorite to win at PSL 2023?
For me, again, that's a tough one because I'm always going to say, you know, the Kalanders, and I truly believe that we have the team to win it this year. We've got all our bases covered. You know, we've got fantastic batters, we've got world-class bowlers. You know, we've just got all our bases covered with Rashid Khan coming in, also, you know, having that mystery element. But, you know, looking at how the other teams are stacking up also, you know, I feel like it's one of the strongest seasons in PSL. Just looking at the local talent, the overseas players that have come in, you know, I feel like on any given day, you know, any team can just beat anyone. So it's going to be a really interesting PSL this year.
A word for our captain, your captain, Shaheen Shafridi. How is he as a skipper? Young boy, one of the top bowlers in world cricket.
Shaheen, he's a superstar.
He is.
Like, for me, he calls me Mr. Finisher. I call him superstar because that's what he is. To have achieved what he has at such a young age already, it's amazing. But also, like you say, I think people forget how young he still is.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 22 years old. And to already have captained the PSL team to a trophy.
And won PSL as well.
Won it in his first year, being ICC Player of the Year, you know, at such a young age. He's just a superstar, and you know, I know Pakistan's going to have a lot of expectations from him for the future.
That's brilliant, David. Thank you very much. Lastly, any message for Lahore Kalanders or PSL fans?
Just everybody out there, thank you for your support. You know, thank you for the support over the past years. It's been a privilege playing in front of you guys. I'm coming towards the end of my career now, but it's also, you know, it's a place where I've always cherished playing, and you know, just the support you guys have given us over the years is fantastic. So keep supporting, keep sending us the messages of love. We get all your messages that you send to us. So, you know, just a big thank you to everybody.
Thank you, David, and all the best.
Thank you very much.
Not tomorrow though.
Thank you, appreciate it.
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. आई होप कि आपने एंजॉय किया हो डेविड के साथ इंटरव्यू. इंशाल्लाह आपके साथ और भी क्रिकेटर्स लेके आएंगे और आपसे उनकी बात कराएंगे. थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग.